to Lifetime Impact. It's a program that is designed to challenge you in life so that you will not die without leaving legacy for our generation. It's a program that seeks to provoke you so that at least your vision can be widened and you see a brighter tomorrow. And you are welcome. You don't judge a book by its cover. You don't judge a man by the way he appears. Joseph, remember, was a prisoner. Then he became a prime minister. So all those in prison who were like the prison guards became the subject of Joseph. Remember Ruth. Ruth was gleaning in Boaz's plantation, but later on she became the owner of the field. So I believe God is taking you from one dimension of life to another. So welcome to Lifetime Impact. I am the Bishop Dr. Frederick Abubakar Siddiqui Sulaiman Koroma. And today I have a very, very important guest with me. Should I say he's a man who has been with me maybe just 1 or 2 years after the inception of the ministry. So he's a man that, knows all about it. And I believe he's going to speak to us today in the position of an authority. So, welcome, sir. Please tell us your name and a brief background about your family.
Well, I am Reverend Olamide Jonathan Alfred Adewale Macaulay. I am the first boy in a family of 4, and we all come from the Macaulay family, a very small family, and I just have 2 sisters and a brother. Well, that's the small family I came from.
Okay, and where do you work?
Okay, and I work as senior pastor in Fleming Evangelical Ministries.
Okay, you appear to be our senior pastor at headquarters, the Cathedral of Lady, and also our attending for the region of Sierra Leone. Yes, sir. You are welcome, Reverend Olamide Macaulay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. So please, listeners would like to know, because there are people who have never known about your background. Like Pastor Matthew said last week, because the first time he was unfolding his past, about his background, in this kind of fashion. Can you please tell us the primary school you attended and the secondary school?
Well, I attended the International Primary School. Back then, when I went to the school, there was no secondary school. It was a school, normally in those days, when I went there, a school were for the kids of the diplomats and some of the top government officials. Then I was there from class 1 up to 6, then sat to the common entrance, and then I went to the Methodist Boys High School because it was the school of my father and my uncle. They went to the Methodist Boys High School, so I had to follow their footsteps.
And what's the motto?
Laboramus expectantis. We labor and expect.
That's it. All what I believe. Okay, that's interesting. So you went to Boys High School, and I went some time of my life. I went to Sierra Leone Grammar School before finally went to Maboka. And this one that I think we should be out to do a Thanksgiving service. We want to outmatch this and Edwards because they made a lot of noise all around the street. So people are asking me now, so you have to go to match. So at least they will know that. So have you ever matched in your school?
Well, not when I became pastor. But before, yes. Well, since I left school, I've not matched as an old boy, and I'm looking forward to one of these big celebrations to go and match. I saw what the Edwardians did, and I know the Regentonians also will come out with a big. Well, I'll see. I'm looking forward to one of our Methodist Boys High School Thanksgiving match as an old boy.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. Well, from your background, you said you went to the international school,
Primary school.
primary school,
Yeah.
and that was a school that was designed for the children of diplomats.
Yeah.
And so, well, you must have come from maybe a fairly, should I say, middle class or first class, unlike some of us, like me, I went to Kokotelo administration schools, Catholic schools, you know what I mean? Catholic, this what do we call it now? Municipal school. Because that's the only option for kids that came from poor family. My father was a night security officer. My mother was also called for the market.
Okay.
You know, so therefore they couldn't afford. If you are sending to international school, definitely that will have been the end of their lives. What was your father doing and your mom? What were their occupation?
Okay, my father, before he retired, worked for the Ministry of Labour, and he retired as a deputy commissioner of Labour. And my mom used to work at the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
Okay.
So they were both senior civil servants when we were at that time, especially my father.
Okay, well, after he retired.
And then he went to work as a personnel manager for Sironko.
Because I think I came to know him when he was at Sironko.
Sironko, yes.
Okay, so he worked there for many years.
Yeah, yes, until the Rebel War. Then they took some of the workers at Sironko, especially senior worker. But fortunately for him, he was in town for a meeting with government when the rebels invaded the camp at Sironko. So he was not part of the group that they took away.
Oh, you mean they took them as captives?
As captives.
Oh,
yes.
so he was fortunate enough to have escaped that kind of. Wow, that's interesting. So, where did you go? Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Okay, I was born in Central Freetown, and then we grew up at 58 Mountain Court. That's where I spent most of my childhood. My mom came from Fullertown. She was a Muslim before. She was the only one who got married to a Christian. It took my uncle who converted to Christianity to go and convince my grandfather, as I was told, to let her marry my father. And then they got married. So when they got married, they used to stay at the house at Fullertown because they did not believe, my father said, they did not believe that a Christian man would take care of her. And they were brides, you know, they came from the bright family. So they were at 58 Mountain Court, and that's where we were born. We grew up. And then in 1971, we left and came to Tembertown because Dad had already built that house. He started it for long, and so he said we should come in and finish it. That's how we were. So basically, I'm a Fullerton boy.
Fullerton boy.
And a Tembertown boy. Yes.
So, well, I don't know about your background. Unlike, as I said, some of us, I always make myself an example because I grew up, how do I call it now? God have mercy. I grew up in Congo Town. I learned to swim. I can swim for maybe 100 or more kilometers, you know. I learned how to swim. I was a very bad, but at a very young age, I started to smoke. I was in primary school, and I gambled in class when I was at Saulo Grammar School. Please forgive me. This is my past. I'd like just to unfold my past. This is my past. So I was a very wild boy. So what can you say about yourself? Are you? I think are you pious? Or are you as bad as I?
Well, I was not pious actually. Well, I think, well, it was destiny, because when I was small, I was very sickly. I was very, very sickly.
Okay.
I was born. In fact, my brother too, both of my younger brother, the boys were very sickly, and so because of that, I was overprotected. Yeah, my mom used to take pictures of me every year because they never believed I would survive. And I was told that when I got 10, then I overcame the sickness, but she was always like overprotective because I was extremely sickly. They did not believe I would survive, but I survived, and then because of that, I was not a very naughty boy, but I love. Well, in those days, I loved to go to film, to cinema.
Which one?
Globe and Strand. In fact, for Globe and Cinema and Globe Cinema and Strand Cinema. And Strand, when those days coming up, we used to. I still remember there was a man there, Mr. Alpha. He was a very big guy. At Strand. He lives at Pabaloa, yes. So I know, yes, Pabaloa.
Yes.
And then Mr. Alpha will save tickets for us and for me and all these things. But I think we're going in secondary school. It became better. But I was not that social really, because I was not that social. It's not because of my father and my mother's background, but because of those days do fall ill easily. Yes.
Okay. So at least.
Yeah. Then when we came to Tembe Town, my mom at least was not too protective. Well, she just left us to run around. Well, down the hole we called there Bobogia. In those days, in 1971 up to 80, it was there that they cook omole and this stuff. And there were few people. I remember one person I always remember. We are close. It's Aisha, the one who sings gospel. Yeah, I grew up with the husband. They were there. In fact, they were the ones my mother left us with. Yeah, so we grew up like brothers down there. Yeah, but those days it was just swim, go look for crab, and find some oysters. That's all we do. I was not bad, but I had skin diseases. I was telling somebody yesterday that I know crutch leaf because that is what my mom used to. She would put us between the leg and scrub us with that until it bleeds. Yeah. So, but other things I don't. That's just my life.
Okay, that's interesting. So you go into Globe and Strand. Which were your famous movies? Indian, Chinese?
Well, I always love Western movies.
Oh, Western movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially the cowboy films.
I used to watch Indian film. That's why I like your Donkey Barat. Your Donkey Barat.
Yes,
That's us back again. Anyway, that's interesting. So after secondary school, what did you do next?
Okay, after secondary school, then I sat to the GC. But my dad had always wanted me to do something, so craft. So so I went to Technical Institute, got the City and Guilds, and then from there I said, well, okay, you have to work a little. So because of his influence, I went up Frabe College, started working. Then I got a scholarship there at Frabe College.
Okay.
Yes, to go and do.
So you went there, you worked.
I worked. Yes, I worked
for some time.
Yes, and then.
Okay, so after secondary school, so what you say to listeners now, because some people don't value education. Maybe there are some people there are some kids listening to you now. The parents are constraining them. Go to school. Maybe you are big. They say, Ochimba. Young people they say, you say they will say cool, you know. But what the pastor said, what the was giving his speech, he said, well, you know, not that by the say now put both together, the cynical and by the you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So tell people about the importance of education.
Yeah, it's very, very important. I was not a very bright student, actually. I mean, I was not bright. Compared to people we went to school together. Most people who knew me in school knew I was actually slow, not a very bright, not a very clever person. But it was very, very important. So I want to encourage those who are slow, those who are, not doing well. You have to, you need education. You need education. Whatever level of education you have to find, you have to push and push, because that is what will make you tomorrow who you will become. You know. But I mean, education is not about being all bright, all first class student. You can be slow but steadily. I was slow. I failed. I failed in school. I failed in school. I failed twice in school. I failed from 2, and then we went to Form 4 again. I failed. Then my mom said, well, go leave the arts and go to science. And then I discover I can do more science. Yeah, I was. The arts was giving me problem, but the science, especially, well, for maths, yes, I had a little, but the rest I sailed to. That's how I became a science student.
So
because when I failed, I could not handle the history. It was too much.
Two sides of the same coin. You were an art student, then you moved to science, and you did a similar way.
Yes.
I was a science student, and I failed physics and chemistry. Maths, I failed them badly. So I had to move over now to the arts subject where I got 1, 1, 1, 2, and so on. So you have to discover where at least you are gifted.
Yes.
Then
exactly.
So whom do you consider a failure in life?
Well, it's somebody who does not try. I think so. I think somebody who does not try, because failure is not final. It's just if you don't try, you don't try. You don't try at all, then I consider you a failure. Well, people will say, why? Because it was very, very odd sometimes in life. Some things you do, but you have to try and not just try. Pick yourself up again and go forward and make progress. But if you stop, then you fail.
So if you have given up when you failed twice in secondary school,
I would have
qualified as a failure.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
But because you keep on trying, so that's why you came to where you are today.
Yes.
That's interesting. So boys and girls, so because you are slow at school, does not make you a failure. Because you failed once. I took the O level not only once, you see. But I took it several times before I could qualify. I was qualified to go to F.A.S College.
And I too went for I too did at academy. I tried to do the A level, and I could not. I failed twice, and then I said, well, okay, let me just use now the O level result and do what my father wants me to do.
Wow!
So I could not even. Good as I was in maths, and I could not do past A level maths and A level science. I sat to it twice, and then my mom said, "Boy, if you go 3 times, you don't this A level you cannot. So forget it." So and use the O level and see how far you could go. So we should not give up.
Wow!
Because those days, my family well, because of the sisters, and when you are, they consider your dad as this person, so you have to do A level, you have to do this. But I think people must know that you don't stop. Just try and do your best.
Wow. Try and do your best. It's a lesson you should learn. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then your courage will appear. So that is a poem I learned, during my primary school days. So, boys and girls, please, you are not labeled a failure until you give up. The Bible says the righteous man falleth 7 times. 7 times he will rise up again. If a righteous man falls and remains there, then he is labeled as a failure. But as long as you are striving in life, if you fail once or twice, try again. Okay? Wow, this is a very good lesson that we've learned from our regional superintendent, the Reverend Olamide Macaulay. So I got to understand that you went to UK. What did you study when you went to UK?
Well, I studied at the University of Newcastle. We did public health engineering technology, at the university.
Wow.
It was a new subject that wanted at that time to introduce in F.A.S College. So they want somebody to do the lab, who could do the practical work, and then a lecturer. So they sent me, and then that's why I was there. So yeah.
Wow. When was that?
Well, that was in the 80s, is it?
80s?
Yeah, so yeah.
Wow, in the 80s. And you went to England, and then you came back.
Yeah.
When in those days, there are people who are aspiring to go to Europe. They will do all what is available, so they can go to Europe. So why did you decide to come back home?
Yeah, well, I think it was destiny. Yeah, those days, it was very, very easy to stay, just stay there. It's not like now, when immigration.
Yeah.
Those days it was so easy, but I think it was destiny. One, I did not like Newcastle. I did not like Newcastle. And two, where my aunt was there in the UK. She was a citizen, and my cousin also. She got married to a British boy, and but they stayed at Leeds, and Leeds were like Newcastle. I did not like. So most times when we come down to London for holidays, I see the life. I don't have relatives there. Knowing if I live with friends, it was far better. I come back home, my dad could swing something for me, my mom too could swing something for me. So I said, well, no, let me come, and I had that urge just to come. Yes, that's why. But I never liked it in Newcastle, neither in Leeds.
Okay.
It was too small, too dull, and very, very dark. Get dark, very dark quickly, and all these things. So I decided to come back.
Oh, you came back home. I thank God you came back home. Otherwise, I would have never had the opportunity to know you. Thank God there are people who've gone well. They are still there. Some are flourishing. Some came back home. I had the opportunity to go to Italy and England in '93. And they even asked me to stay behind to, that could take care of me. By then, it was tough being in ministry in town. But I had to come back home. Thank God that you came back home. And after you came back home, what next? Where do you work?
Yeah, I went back to F.A.S College.
Okay.
Worked for a little while because I had to fulfill the bond. We signed a bond that you should work so much, and well, when I finished, I got tired, I got tired with it, so I just left the work. I went for leave, and I was a bit tired with the work, so I said, well, let me look at something else. And then at that time, Mr. Palmer was doing some engineering work with his firm, so I just joined them and continued to work with them. As just a building contractor and construction engineer, just work with them all over. We did school, IDB schools, it was the days of President Kaba, the first term, and even after we work we did schools, we did some hospitals, just construction. Yeah.
Okay, so in fact that gives you the capacity now to be building. I discovered that Flaming now is just building, and you are always there.
Yes, exactly, sir. Yeah. So, you know, I never knew that it was a training ground for what would happen in the future.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is Reverend Olamide Macaulay, Regional Superintendent of Flaming Evangelical Ministry in Sierra Leone, also our senior pastor at our headquarter church, and he's giving us a background of his life and the transition that took him from where he was born, until he came to where he is today. So please, you can send in your, if you are viewing us, I know we have literally hundreds of people who are viewing us live on Facebook, and maybe you are listening to us by courtesy of radio, the Universal Radio on FM 98.9 by courtesy of Mr. Space, or Destiny Radio on 94.1 by courtesy of Bishop, Doctor, and Lady Laga, or maybe Voice of Hope, Flaming Evangelical Ministry on FM 93.7. You are welcome to this lifetime impact. So you can send in your comments. You can call us on telephone number 075 000 Call us live now on 075 000 937, or send your text messages or WhatsApp messages to 078 861 497. That's 078 861 497. So we'll read out your text, and we'll also broadcast whatever you want us to say. I mean, your own contribution or question to what we are discussing today. Okay, well, Pastor, as I normally call you, Reverend Olamide Macaulay, you've been with Flaming the longest, I think so. You've been with Flaming for decades now. Tell us about your first encounter. How you got encounter with Flaming?
Okay, my first encounter with Flaming, I've never known about Flaming. In fact, I feel it is divine. But to answer the question, let me start where we went to a christening party for one of our neighbor's daughter, and it was at that christening party that I met Juliet, and then, well, she too was not that safe at that time. So we had just a little friendship, and then she got born again. So, and then she came back and said, well, I'm born again, and so you have to come and see my church because I'm born again. So that is how I knew about Flaming Evangelical Ministries. And then it was, I think, the second anniversary, the ministry's second or third anniversary at F.A.S School. Wow. I remember it was Reverend Davis. Cyril Davis. Yes, who preached at that, and then, well, then I continued. Then I said, okay, I like it. I will come, and then I started.
By the way, at Prince of Wales.
Prince of Wales. Yeah.
Was it
we were not yet at the Thanksgiving was there, but then you were at Edward's School.
No, we meet at Edward's.
Okay, yes, in the evenings. Yeah, so I started coming for the evening.
Oh, for the evening program.
Yes, and then
at Edward's.
Then we went.
They called it at Edward's.
Yes, and
then finally
we went to the
F.A.S School.
Yes.
That's interesting. Wow, this is how we got to know about Flaming. That was our third anniversary. That should be something around 1989.
Yeah, exactly.
1989.
Yes.
That's interesting. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so well then now, Juliet, Reverend Juliet now is your wife, but by then she was just a mere friend. Yeah. So I remember when I was living on Ascension Town, when there was an evening when I've never met you before. So I saw you walking with Juliet, your possessed wife. By then I didn't know that you were in courtship. You were walking along, I mean the other side of the road. So I think I had to call you. Do you remember the incident?
Yes.
When
yes,
I had to call Aki, it was
exactly,
1989.
Yeah.
Can you tell us exactly what happened by then?
Yes, we were then now not friends. We were like courting, and it was a decision I was toying about. Well, should I get married or? But then we were at that time in the church, and so but yes, we did not know you as much. Then you were. I just know. Well, it's Pastor Abu. It's Pastor Abu. And so when you said you saw me that evening, then I said, well, and then you said, okay, I want to see you both now. So we went, and then you said to us, well,
you came to my house.
Yes.
Was it a big house, an apartment?
No, that's your small house.
Okay, living room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you said to us, well, you are courting, and I said, well, we will get married. I want to marry her, and that was the first time I made up. After much doubt and much fear, I said, okay, somebody have asked me, and that somebody is a man of God, so he had asked me, and so I said we'll get married. And then you said, well, when? So I just said, well, it will be in January.
The following year?
Yes, it will be in January.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the date we wanted was not on a Saturday. That was why we never married on your birthday. That was why we married in January.
Okay.
That's why our wedding anniversary is always after your birthday. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because at that time when we got married, it fell on a Friday. And so my aunt, Reverend Ayomakoli, said, no, we cannot marry on a Friday.
Okay.
So you have to marry the next day.
Okay, so you got married on the 27th.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. That's an honor.
So that was why I wanted to, because I told you that, well, you were the first person who asked me, my parents, nobody, asked me, but you were the first. So I told her, go find out his birthday, find out.
Wow.
So that is why I told you it was January.
This is I'm hearing about this.
Yes, actually.
Oh, that's very good. By then, I was just a little pastor in a little corner, and then somebody who was trying to honor me, to marry on my birthday. I don't take it very lightly. Thank you very much for that, Pastor Ola. And you married in January 27th, 1990.
Yes.
So I think you've already celebrated your 32nd anniversary.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You've been married to the same woman.
Yes.
Do you have any regret choosing her as your wife?
No, I don't. Have any regret choosing her as my wife. Well, let me just say quickly why I adore her. Because from the very beginning, she was truthful.
Okay.
From the very, very beginning, she had, she was truthful. She had character, and and she always look out for my interest, especially my interest in being godly somebody.
Wow.
So I don't have any regrets marrying her. Well, people thought that the marriage would fail, basically because, well, maybe I know Juliet will not mind me saying it, because she was older.
Okay.
Yes, and they thought it would fail because she had kids by then.
Okay.
But I'd always liked her, and I'd always
praise God.
loved her, and she was just there, and I thank God I married her.
Oh, that's a message for you people.
No regrets.
Yes, and when they see the kids now, they are your kids.
Yes.
They look up to you as a father. Wow.
In fact, when we started having my own kids, it was only in school that one day Colenso came back and said, but we are Macaulay, where are they? So we said, no, when kids are born, the one who are older, get their mother's name, and then that's. But it took them a while to understand.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good message for you parents. Please, your wife's kids or your husband's kids are your kids. Okay, treat them as yours. So that's what happened with Reverend Olamide Macaulay. You cannot distinguish, them. They grew up together as brothers and sisters, and the tightness, the cordiality, the intimacy are amongst these wonderful, beautiful boys and girls who are now grown up to be men and women. So, Pastor Ola, but there are some singles who want to know. Well, Pastor Ola has married now for 32 years with no regret. So, what message really want to tell us? About looking at what qualities should we look out for when we want to get married? What should we say to them?
Well, to you singles, it boils down to your attitude and your temperament, and somebody will like you, but we are coming into a family. So let me encourage you to just be nice. Forget about all the things, model law and this and that and this. It will not, as long as you know somebody you want to marry has the quality and has that thing in him or her that will bind you together, then go for it. Forget about all the rest. Time will test. They will test it. Yes.
So what are some of the qualities? If someone
okay, like temperament. You have to have because definitely your in-laws or your sisters. But for me, when Juliet came into the family, my sisters were away in America, so they did not see her until after the wedding when they came back for holidays. So that's what. But my mom did all to test her. But if you ask them in temperature, they tell you Juliet is so quiet. Her temper, and because of her temperament and attitude, she won the respect and admiration of my mom, that she became the pillar of the family. Wow. She became the pillar. My mom will always say, go to Juliet, go do this with Juliet, and that's it's reached a point that they loved her so much. That's what singles should look out for. They will test you. They will test you. They will test your character. They will sometimes you say, oh, the law is bad, but it's just a test of character. So please just stay calm, do things, and me too. Their own side, the brother said, well, that's what you get, this and that and this. Worst of all, which kind of church you don't go, so this and that, what you go able to give. Well, we stood together and tried to push. It was not easy. So character and attitude, I think, are two main important things.
Okay, so you love each other, and that's interesting.
Love should bind you. Yeah.
I always tell people that some people only know the strength of Pastor Ola, but I always say to people that Juliet is my own friend. When I saw Juliet on that night, I was very jealous, godly jealous, because I was protecting her. I said, who is this man? So I discovered that he's a cool, calm, and calculated Pastor Olamide Macaulay, and I know Juliet is a strength of you being in the ministry, because I discovered that many women, I should say this publicly, I was situated to the ears of many of these pastors, that many of these men who make some wrong decision in life have been influenced by their wives. Take Fleming, for example. 90% of those who just leave, they left me and they ended up regretting because of their wife. But I believe that the strength of Juliet, because of the relationship between I and Juliet, is what has sustained us being together for over 3 decades. So thank you very much, Mrs. Macaulay, for being so much. You are very unassuming, yet your input has gone noticed. Thank you so much. God bless you. Can you get some few remarks from our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, we have WhatsApp.
Okay.
We have a prayer to saying, may God bless you both saying this is really a great experience and privilege listening to Pastor Ola.
Wow.
Humility is his name.
Wow.
Miriam too is saying what an interesting journey of life. Vanessa Thomas is saying a humble man of God, more grace upon your life, sir. We have an Miriam
Activity from Virginia. Yeah.
Watching from Virginia, a true servant of God. We have Stanley. Stanley saying this program is really a blessing for us and our career.
Amen.
We have a Shambhe Tamba saying your life story is interesting and worth of emulation.
Wow.
Thanks for everything, sir. We are tremendously grateful. We have Kodumania saying, praise our God. We have F.A.S, never give up in life. We have Lady Dr. Patricia Koroma saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
That's my wife. That's Pastor Ola's best friend. Okay.
We have F.A.S again saying, our very own Pastor Ola, the honest man. I know we love and appreciate you, sir. Balu saying, wants to define humility and lowest person. Pastor Ola is the definition.
Wow, that sounds very good. I endorse that.
We have Mr. Lahai Abraham Jobaima saying, what a privilege, banter. And he also sends a text message here. Say how this program has turned our Danny Bishop an investigative journalist. The greatest moment of my life. Let the pipe play on that day. I need it spiritual and academic all the way. Hi Joe driver. We have messages that are still coming in. We have Reverend Emmanuel Tamba.
That's calling from Europe, yeah.
Pastor Ola is the most humble man I have always admired while growing up in the ministry. I grew up in the ministry and I've learned so much from him as messages to
Okay.
I've learned so much from him as my senior pastor in the Prophet's Church. God bless wherever Pat William said, God bless you wherever you are. We love you, sir. And we have Michael Brown saying, have been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this interview today.
Wow.
Thank you for your work, sir. But William saying, one of the best reverend, Olabelema College. Elizabeth Akko saying, I love this moment. We have Isaiah Biggie saying, Pastor Ola, Fulatom, Bishop Nakumoto.
Fulatom Nakumoto. Okay.
Something, wow, great impact.
Okay, I'm from US, okay.
Say the cool and calculated, we love you both, Pastor Ola and Bishop. Maria and Owen for us saying, this is my first time listening to this program. It's really a blessing. Thanks for honoring God and blessing humanity.
Wow.
We have Reverend Patricia again, Pastor Ola is also blessed. I'm also blessed by your testimonies of humility. We have Basil Mansari saying, we love you so much, more grace, sir. And Dalton Chure saying, I have admired Pastor Ola over the years for his continued loyalty to the ministry.
That's right.
It's worth emulating in every sphere of life. God bless you. And we have McLean saying, Pastor Ola, all these years have been a good model, good counselor, and a very good, gentle pastor. Your invaluable support for the bishop has made some who we had to be. To God be the glory. Conrad Johnson saying, such an humble man of God, Pastor Ola, may God continue to bless you as you follow. This program has been a blessing.
Okay, thank you very much, our manager. Thank you for echoing the comments from our listeners and viewers. You can still call on 075 000937. And people are saying, well, Pastor Ola is loyal, Pastor Ola is humble. Well, if there's anyone who can evaluate that, that is me, because I've been with me as very loyal, very dedicated. It's always good. I remember Pastor Matthew saying, Bishop, God bless you, one of the best assistant at the one old wall. You know what I mean? Because of his loyalty and his consistency. And there are people who come into your life to know about your secrets and then try to expose you, try to demean you, try to be like a ham who got a curse from his father's Noah. But this man is a blessing. I told people I can live Fleming for 5 years. I'll go and come back again, and Fleming will be intact because of his loyalty, dedication, vision, and his drive. Okay, as we try to wind up this program, Pastor, some people say that success and failures are products of one's imagination. They are in the mind. Can you debunk it, or can you attest to this fact?
Well, I believe so. That you can be successful, or you could fail because of your mind. And this is simple. This is something I've learned here. All these years I'm here. It was very, very impossible in those days. Looking at where we are coming from, and then to just somebody and his grace will tell you those days, we have to do this, and if you imagine it, you look at it squarely and try to rationale with your mind, you think you will fail. But if you tell yourself, well, if he believes it, I believe it, then we can achieve it. That has been the driving thing that had bring all the success. The mind.
Wow.
One thing, I will say about him is that he knows how to condition your mind. I pity people who come to him and don't, have that connection with. He always. He will play with the mind, and he will play with your imagination and bring it to a point that you will believe what you have to do. But I think it's true. We have seen a lot of success because of the mind.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of success because of the mind. I believe that I can do it. He has asked me to do it, so I can do it.
So if you think you're a failure, you're a failure.
Yes, indeed. There's
no magic about it.
No, sir.
So as a man thinketh in his heart.
So easy.
So easy.
Yes.
So today, learn to change your mindset. Don't look at yourself as a failure. Don't look at yourself as a loser in life. If you've listened to my testimony for 4 consecutive weeks, how God has transitioned me to where I am today. I was fortunate to have come from, a family like Pastor Ola, where we went to this kind of schools, But after I got saved, my favorite scripture is Job chapter 8 verse 7. Though your beginning is small, your latter end shall greatly increase. So don't look at the humble beginning. Yes, everything in life starts small. You are a grown-up now, but you start from the womb as a small something. So please don't give up on yourself. So Pastor Ola, tell us when you told your parents that you are coming over to work as a full-time pastor in Fleming, what were their reaction?
It was not easy, especially my mom. It was not easy. My mom, as I told you before, they are bright. If people know the Bright family, they are people who are, they were well connected and all of these things. To come and say, I say, wait, talking back, what you say? I say, who's we church, you papa in church box here? I say, no, I said, Fleming. He said, who's I done day? So you no go do that, you. But you know, it was a very, very tough decision. And she blamed Juliet. So you see, you don't come, I be talker. You don't come pull her now. You don't this, you don't that. You guys touch this. You say this day, you know. But my dad was always there, and then he said, well, he had tried a lot of things, so let him go and try, and let him, you know, let's see how it will work out. And so, you know, but it was not an easy decision. But I knew that I was called. You know, God told me what I had to come and do, and so that was another driving factor. So I said, well, Mom, you have to just trust me now. And then she said, well, if there you go, no say, you go rent your own place. So my dad said, no, you stay, let him stay here. Let's see how this thing will go. But it was not an easy decision. But we thank God that we never disobeyed God. And then again, that was the second time you pressed me, because I remember, well, when my mom, to keep my mom happy, so I started to go back again. You remember? So you said, well, you should come. And then I said, but to keep my mom happy, I had to keep doing the engineering. But then one day I watched you and you were very vexed. One Sunday, you know, we went to both, we came back. So I said, well, you know, me, before I please Mama, I please this man. Then I please God. Because looking at that, your face, that I was so guilty that I should be. That I told Juliet, I said, you know, it's this, pass the mommy, no more do anything, but I will come, and I came.
Well, I think you forgot something else. You remember when I was trying to coerce you to call me to full-time ministry, because I believe God has a work for you. So I think I had to report you to Juliet.
Okay, yes. And then you told Juliet, and then when I came back, exactly, sir. And then Juliet said to me, well, this is a decision you have to take. You must go now. Wow. And you must answer not only God's call, but you must answer Pastor Abu's call. You must go. And so I said, well, okay, let's see how it will work out.
So that was a big risk, because considering the fact that we were at F.A.S School, there was no structure by then, no source of income. It was just...
in fact, talking about it, like I told them also, it was that small office we had at Wellington Street. Waterloo Street, the couple will be there, and then you just disperse all the money to everybody, and you don't have anything.
Oh, yes. You jog my memory back. And that small wooden house. That's what serves as an office. Oh, but Pastor Ola, it's good that you're refreshing my memory back then, you know, and you didn't come when the glory was there. That was what Dr. Chigmundo told me one day when I invited him to come. He came 93, 94, we were at F.A.S School. Then we came now to this headquarter church. Then he said, sir, there are people who will forget you when the glory manifests. They will only know you when there is the story. But you were there when the story was being told, being unfolded. You witnessed it, and you are here now when the glory. There are people who will only come for the glory. When they come, they see the glory, they want to destroy the glory. You know what I'm talking about. But you have been very steadfast and consistent. Okay, and you've served. You see, one thing that amazed me about Pastor Ola, but everybody is saying it. Let me say it maybe today publicly. You came in and as a full-time pastor, you worked and served under Pastor Desmond.
Yes.
Desmond went to London, and Pastor Kenley took over.
Yes.
And he served under Kenley. Then Kenley went to Bo on a mission. Yes, so Pastor Ope took over. And you came out. So it's rather, I don't know, bizarre, you know, for you to be serving. And you say, well, you know, all man, they mean serve all man. But you are very consistent. Tell people them have to be patient. They are the one for the one be to go on, the one for one. Someone understand pastor, they want to take over. Tell them.
Yeah, well, let me say this to all assistant pastor. You are called to assist. so assist. Like, you know, I served under, and I thank God. Today, if I'm a teacher, it was because of Reverend Donald Kenley. He had in fact, the wife during those days was the one who laid hands on me to receive the baptism of the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
So we have to serve, just serve. And we served. They gave me Sunday school, and we teach. I did teach Sunday school, and you know, but I served him. I served him. Well, when he went, then Pastor Ope came. I served him. But I did not say, well, I was there, I was this. But I know I was called.
Your season will come.
Exactly, sir.
Wow.
So and just assist, and your season will come.
Wow, that's interesting. Your season will definitely come. No, it's gone. Pastor was there, he waited, he not grumbled, he not complained. As long as they say, very humbly, accepted the job, stayed there, served under different regime, he was there. People said, well, Pastor, it took while, he not be a good pastor. But after all now, all these years since, when was it? Since he took over, I can boldly say, well, he's done a tremendous work, an outstanding job. Well, kudos to you, and thank you very much.
You, sir.
Right. So we've been together for over 3 decades. What are your honest opinion? Because you know me, some people came in very late, 2010, 2015, 2005, 2001. But you've been there since the 90s. So what will be your honest evaluation about me?
Before I answer, I showed your best friend this particular question, that I said to Juliet, I said, so answer this question. So she said to me, no, for the first time, I will not influence you concerning So, but honestly, sir, my best, you know, evaluation, and what I would like to say about you is you are constant. You are very, very constant. I've worked with bosses in the secular world. I've watched them. I've watched them before and after. I've seen them grown. I've seen them, you know, I've worked with a lot of people, but you are constant. You are still it's just the title, but you are still the same. Well, forgive me to say, Brother Abusa, the same simple person, the same person we can go to and talk just easily, no protocol and all this. It's a pleasure to have known you.
Wow.
It's a real pleasure to have known you and work with you, because you are very, very constant. You don't change. I don't know if I'm putting it well, and you are understanding. You don't change. What we know you for before, you are still it today. Although people know you have never changed, you still have those values. You are still you still have those values, and that is my assessment of you. Yes.
Wow, thank you very, very much. When Pastor Ola speaks, he speaks as an authority, because he has been with me since maybe after the inception of the ministry, 1 or 2 or 3 years, then he came on board. So he is speaking in the position of an authority, because he has been with me there, he has interacted with me, he knows my weaknesses, he knows my strength, he knows that I can shout. He knows this, eh?
Yes,
Allah.
exactly. And those qualities are still there from of old. They have never changed.
Yes.
And that is what I always, Juliet and I, always love about you.
Wow, yes. Thank you very much for that.
You change in age, in appearance, but not in character.
Wow.
Steady character.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it is interesting that your wife, I've developed a relationship with your wife before you even came to know her. And you came to know my wife now, and she's your best friend. She always talks very well about you. So what do you say about us as a family?
It's the way both as families, the way both of you run ministry. It's just a flawless, a nice kind of way. And as a family, you know, you have shown us that that is the pattern we should go. We have never seen or heard shouting or anything. It's just always, yes, maybe they are there, but we what you have left with us as a family, especially Lady Pat. Let me why she's my best friend. I've worked with a lot at the height she is now. She's not proud. She you know, Sunday I watched her sat with my wife. They sat together and they talked, and then Tutupe came, patted them, and you know, she just sat there easily, and they talk until Tutupe's wife said to him, left that mommy. Both of them said together, look, jealousy. You know, but it's just that simple. She treats the protocol well. I love her. I just love her simplicity. You know,
but she always speaks highly of you. Yeah, that's my wife. We've been together now for over 31 years, going to 32 years. Of course, definitely, every home has its own storm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it has its own storm, but you have to stand firm to know that storms have come to pass. They will pass, and every storm is about to take you to another level. You know, in ministry, in marriage, in business, in job, whenever you see a storm, it's because God has designed the Goliath to take you to the palace where Saul is. Thank you very much for that.
Let me just say, people, you know, actually what you said, but all have changed for you is that the house just changed, but Bishop and Lady Patricia are not changed. The cars changed, but still Bishop and Lady Patricia are not changed. The clothes changed, but Bishop and Lady Patricia are still the same. And this is what we love, because it has, you know, people think I'm cool, calm, calculated, but I see in you. I see it in you, that's all. You know,
Wow.
I just see it in you. That's all.
It. I jokingly, I said to our sister this morning, yesterday she was not feeling too strong, you know what I mean? So I was there. From 5:30 when we woke up, Basola, till 7 p.m. at night, I was there with her. So I told her, I said, look, you see, let me look after you. So, me like a woman, I look after the man. You know what I mean? Yes. And we made fun out of it, we laughed, we've been friends. Definitely there are storms, but we've overcome the storms, and God has helped us today. And thank you very much for your input. You've been a blessing, and your family, your children look at me, and they call me grandpa, they call me all kinds of names, you know, and your daughter, your last child, you know, you call her, what's her name?
Anis.
No, Anista. And that's her name, Anissa. Yeah. But I remember when she was dedicated, so she got the name Flemina. So up to that's what I'm calling her.
Yes, it's in a document.
Is that so?
Yes, she's Anissa, Anissa Flemina Maria Macaulay.
Oh, that's interesting. So she carries the name Flemina. Today,
that's her name.
I think she's about 20.
Yeah, she's, and in November she will be 25.
Oh my goodness me! Wow. And then there are the other kids. Well, that's interesting getting here. So, Basola, well, as we wind up now, what do you think? Since we came from Prince of Wales, and then we have come to the Old Fleming, and then we got the mega church. So, how should I put it? What will you say about this transition?
Yes, a transition that most people will understand. So let me just take a few minutes and show you how we transition. We went from a lab, and that lab, you know, when we were in the lab, the lab experience was for me the greatest, because when we go into praise and worship, we will beat those desks.
The desks.
I will beat the desk. Then one man, Mr. Vandy, come. I say, you see, these people, you see, all he wanted was to take lessons. Mr. Vandy will say, Teacher Vandy will say, you are going out, you will go. He did not know that he was moving us swiftly and quickly. So they gave us the canteen. We went to the canteen, and then at PO school, we were there, and we did a lot when we were in PO school. We made dustbins, repaired the toilet. Then we went to the hall. It was when we were in the hall that we made the fans that did not turn for, and we used the fans.
By courtesy of Mr.
Williams. Then we were there.
God bless
and it was in Prince of Wales, at the hall that we started having musical instruments, sets, and all these things. So we were there. Then the board, asked us, to pay, and then we say, okay, we thank God that
they gave us ultimatum to leave.
Yes. And then we said, well, okay, let's come back, and because we have started
the building.
And then we came to an unfinished building. And we at Ascension Town, we started it, and then we were in the building. That is why I was telling you it is the mind. And whilst we were building the building, trying to build the building, and Bishop said we will build an administrative block. And by the time I remember, I came forth with a plan. And then that's how we had so we are building that one. And when we roofed, we had to float. And those days, money was not enough.
They had to come back,
and let me take this opportunity on behalf of Bishop and Lady Pat to say thank you to those people. Those days, some people literally gave their market money, and some people had to go and cook. They gave, and so we float, and we started the second floor of the administrative building. And it's a long journey.
Wow.
Then we finished the church. Went into the church, and then it said, okay, now we have an administrative building. I want a school, so get Juliet, tell her to leave her job. She's coming to a school, and there was no school. And Juliet said, I am going. So she left YWC nursery, and she said, and she came over. And so they started in a small place. Say, Juliet, when I just go inside this classroom and start. And lo and behold, by the time we remember, we had all the school, the building house that housed the primary school. And then we were there, and then he said to Juliet, you go build. And then when you build, we get secondary school. And then that's how we had the Fleming primary secondary school. And then I thought we would have stopped. Then you said, no, this place would build something. And then architect Abel came in, and we had new Fleming. Then he said, well, finally. I said, thank God it is finally. So, well, we will have TV and radio. Then, but I know preachers, they will always say, finally. And they say, no, let us build out there the clinic, the office, then finally. I know one day, and the clinic and the pharmacy, and then we were still looking at the TV and the rest of the. So it has been a great journey, and
wow.
And looking back, I thank God that I was able to serve.
Wow! So Pastor has unfolded to us the story behind the glory. He was there with us at Fleming. He was there with us when we had the lab. He was there with us when we went to the hall. He was still there with us when we went to rent chairs. Remember when they carried chairs?
Yes.
From Edwards to Prince to carry them on our heads.
And we carry it back.
Ah, my goodness me! He has been there with us all these years, And there are some people who will just cut off and they wanted to be a general overseer, they wanted to be a founder, and they just left unceremoniously. And I believe that many people, that's the reason why today they are struggling in life and ministry. But today, God has been of blessing to you, tremendous blessing, because of your faithfulness to answer to the call and to serve humanity under this ministry. Well, I will have to ask you one or two questions about some, but let me come to this now. So maybe 2 or 3 more questions and we'll close. Do we have comments coming in? Okay. So Pastor Ola, what would you say are the principles in life, the core principles that have kept you soaring in as a minister in Flint? What are your core principles?
Well, one is integrity.
Okay.
You know, we have to keep the integrity of the institution. You know, you look at your head, you know where he's going, and then just serve and keep your integrity. That is one thing I believe. Then the self-confidence. Yes, you know, sometimes people come back who knew me then. I remember last year a friend of mine came and then he said, we never believed. He was telling Julie, he said, your husband, we never believed he could have, you know, do all these things, because he was slow, he talked slow, you know, and in fact he had to come to church to believe that I could preach. Unfortunately for him, that Sunday I preached. I said, when you are up there, you talk faster than when you are down. He said, but that, I said, that is the Lord's doing. But it's self-confidence. The second thing is self-confidence.
Okay.
And the last thing is godliness. Godliness. You know, because it could destroy a ministry. It could destroy a man. So godliness is something we should hold on to and continue to hold on to. I think if we have integrity, self-confidence, and godliness.
Wow, integrity. That's the area where many men of God have lost it. Integrity. If you lack integrity, then definitely that's the reason why some people are going into now false doctrine. I remember telling one of our staff, I don't know whether it was Reverend Benji or else, I said, Pastor Ola, I said, it's one problem. I said, a problem. Pastor Ola believes, say, all my honest, like the way he honest. I said, that's his biggest problem. Now make it the way he gives somebody money, you know, you say, oh, this will go. I said, so the thief I don't know. Now make up about Bakam go thief the money inside your office. Because if thief he believes say no, the money I'm able to die, so anybody don't evaporate. So because of your honesty, your sincerity, your integrity, you think everybody should be like you. That's one thing I admire about you. Pastor Ola, Solution in Monday morning is coming up on Monday. Is it next week? Next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about Solution on Monday, what happens and blah blah blah?
Yeah, Solution on a Monday morning. I think coming up again and starting it again will be a big boost for the ministry, because it is there that people get solution. You know, remembering and looking back. You see the testimonies. You know, I remember that man whose child said the father had not walked. He came that morning.
I think he said it.
Yes, and he walked. You know, and you know that young lady who was mentally
from Lungi.
Yes, and she became whole and sane again. So I think we do have a lot of testimonies, and people are longing to come back, because now there are a lot of people who need deliverance, who
are afflicted,
yes.
Yeah.
And so if having it back is fine, and it's a nice way for some people to start the week, come early. Some do come just for that, the blessings you pronounce when we want to finish. So having it will be a great and tremendous blessing. For the miracles, they are always there. They are always there. Yes, the blind who see. I remember that woman who said the one before the COVID, who I think she was a little eye up. she came and she had some healing, and that's our first encounter with, born again churches and all those things. So we having it again will and solution on a Monday morning had been something that had brought together different people. When I say different people from different denominations and different backgrounds, they all come, that morning in the morning, and it's something that we should look forward to. So let me invite all of you who are listening now.
When the time, the place.
Or it will be here next Monday, here at the headquarters church, 6 o'clock in the morning. So
Wow.
and before you remember what's happening and you see all the miracles, you'll be off again so that you go to work by 8 o'clock. So I just want to encourage you to come and be part of it. But that is one thing I'm happy we are having back, solution on a Monday morning.
Yes. Let me just rub small more for what you say. I think we suspended it not only because of the COVID and you name it, but I believe God said to me before when He has started, He said, "Son, there are people who are oppressed, there are people who are sick, people who are bound." He said, I want to reach them out." He said, "But you are a vehicle, one of the vehicles I can use to reach them out." We went to Joy Assemblies of God this past Sunday.
Okay, sir.
Yes, yeah. I think Pastor Gosi were there. Yeah, did you see the miracles? Yes. Over 20. Sure. 20 outstanding miracles. Remember that girl who was vomiting blood and everything else? She was healed. Yes. Remember the man who was blind in one eye? Yes. The woman who was crying? Yeah, she was healed. And the pastor's wife, one of the ladies, me able to work her. Now that's the use. I call her to culture. That's why waking.
Okay, yeah, that
square. Yes. They will work with. It obey. He said from January, he dropped in a church. So I believe it was a miracle that God gave to them. God is merciful. We don't fake miracles. No. I don't have to fake miracles. I don't know. I have the fear of God in me. So I believe next week Monday at 6 o'clock, every last Monday now, 6 o'clock, because I think it has been suspended for quite over a year or two or so. 2 years. So we are coming back again with solution on the Monday morning. On Monday. So please come with those who are sick, those from the hospitals. I don't care. Look at that boy Michael at Aberdeen. The boy was almost half dead from the hospital. And God raised him up again. We've seen cancer disappear. We've seen lung disease being healed. Doctors have already confirmed it. So we are inviting you on Monday, this coming Monday, at 6 o'clock. Come with the seat. There was a medical, remember the medical doctor?
Okay.
The lady was taken from the ICU unit.
Yes.
She could not walk. She's a medical doctor. And God healed her. That's interesting. And that boy who had that problem, what was wrong with it? I think the one that I think he brought in the catheter.
Okay, yes.
I think the intestine was perforated.
Yes.
And God healed him as well. So our God is still in the business of doing miracles. So please come in on those of you in the diaspora will tell you you can connect. If you are there, you get the information. It will pop up on your phone or your iPad. Okay, because we've seen God healing somebody also from Maryland watching, she could not walk. God healed her through this medium. So God bless you. Before Pastor Rak will say his last word, let us hear from what our listeners and viewers are saying.
We have Marian Toure saying, "Thank very much, Grandpa Bishop, for bringing us a wonderful inspirational program to us. I pray God continue to give you vision to do more." Olamide Colenzo Macaulay says, "It's a blessing to have you both in our lives. We will uphold the value, sirs."
That is Pastor Ola's son.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is my grandson. Go ahead. Okay.
Reverend Joseph Momo saying, "Pastor Ola, please pray for us before leaving the studio.
Okay.
We need to be more humble
in
this end time when people are in haste to be."
Okay, this is a man who works both at UN, also a pastor at Fleming, at Beach Road. All right, go ahead.
For McLean saying, "Our bishop is indeed a disciplinarian, especially in the area of immorality and money affairs. A consistent father in the land. We have Josephine Morel Kora saying, thank you, Bishop, for answering the call of God. You are really a God sent in this country and flaming ministry. I salute you, Bishop. Pastor Ola is a blessing in the ministry. May God continue to bless you, sir. We have Reverend Joseph Momo again saying, messages are still coming in. Bishop haven't changed a lion and a lamb, a coach and a player, a teacher and a professor. To God be the glory. We have Zaperi saying, wow, that was great. The relationship between Bishop and Pastor Ola is like a brotherhood. It's like a brotherhood kind of with God at the center of them. Thank you, Daddy Bishop, for your determination to impact lives positively. Both of you are just like perfect blend of characters who love God. Thank you for your service. We have Frederick Phillips, Bonsin Apostolic Elder saying, Pastor Ola, you are a sterling example of love and humility. You are a blessing, and Bishop is blessed to have you.
You are Apostolic Elder?
Yes, sir.
The one who was interviewing me here?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Blessing to have you, the quiet but effective powerhouse behind God's servant. Mugiatu Siafa is saying, Amos 3 verse 3, can two work together unless they agree? Thank you for believing the vision of our daddy Bishop. Messages are still coming in. And we have Apostle and Sumana Saidu saying, wow, thank God, Daddy, for hosting our senior most pastor, the cool and calculated hero. We have got today the history of flaming. I'm requesting you, Daddy, please, to put this documentary in a printed form.
Wow.
So that we who came to flaming late can benefit from it.
Okay, in fact, let me answer that question now. I will employ the service of Apostolic Elder Boyson. He has that gift. So Apostolic Elder Boyson, this is a mandate coming from the bishop now to come to the office of Pastor Ola and interview Reverend Joss, interview Pastor Ope, who is the oldest. Okay, I mean one of the founding fathers. You have to interview them so that they can tell you about the history of flaming. So please. Get ready for that. Go ahead.
We have Joseph Momo is saying, Pastor Ola and Bishop are a perfect blend to walk with God. I pray God will continue to bless both of you. We have Bodo Mania saying, Pastor Ola, athlete journey of life is worth emulating. Listening, and you will be amazed by the humility of a broken man. Thank you, Daddy Bishop, for being a perfect and godly father to us since you came. Thank you, Daddy Bishop, for being a perfect and godly father to us. Since you came, you have been a blessing to my family, and God keep you for us, so you will eat the labor. Thank you for giving us second chance in life from your daughter, Maria, to Pastor Ola. We have Reverend Patrick Sam saying, Pastor Ola, I am so blessed by your testimonies of humility. Really, that's where we wrap up for today.
Oh wow! Thank you very much, callers and texters from Sierra Leone, from we have Kenema too. It's a phone call, right? It's a phone call. Let me just say this phone call before we. Hello, listener.
Hello. Yes. You are the voice of hope.
Hello, I can't get you. Speak loudly, please.
You are the voice of hope.
Yeah, voice of hope. Yes.
Yes. It's been a blessing.
What?
And all that have been said is positive to God's glory.
Okay.
In Jesus Christ's name.
Amen.
But what I want to put in is that When you are called to serve, you serve.
Amen.
When you are called to assist, you assist. That is the discipline we carry according to God's foundation in our life.
Wow.
This is Reverend Samuel Pratt.
Okay. Thank you very much, Reverend Samuel Pratt. Thank you very much. That's a very good way to end this program. If you are called to serve, you serve. Please, don't be a commander when you should become only a servant. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I believe many people have listened to this and they will actually follow your good advice. Thank you, Osman, and God bless you. So, Pastor, as we close, bring the curtain down. What will be your last and final word before you pray? Now, today you not pray for the nation. Always pray for the nation. Today you are going to pray for servant of God. People are serving, that they will have the heart of a servant to serve. So give me your last word, then you pray for us.
Well, let me say thank you to you, sir, and Lady Patricia for the opportunity for having me. I always wanted to dodge, but I cannot this time. So, but I'm glad I'm here. Let me also say thank you. I've never come to the studio to see how it is done, but I see it's a lot of work. So let me say thank you to everybody and to all our members and all the workers. Thank you so much, because if it hadn't been for you, I believe I would not have been where I am today. Thank you so much. It's not by myself but it had been some of your contribution in my life. So I thank you all so much. Well, lastly, let me say to all the pastors, let us just serve, and let us remember it is not our vision, it is His grace, His vision, and we are called to just further the vision. And that is what I always keep in mind, and that is what I always tell myself, that I am not the visionary. I'm not the visionary. I'm only called to serve. I'm not the one who draws the battle plan. The only thing I do is I organize the battle. That's all. So if we keep that in mind, I believe all of us will do well, especially here at Fleming. Thank you so much, sir, and I really enjoyed it. I did not sleep much because I was so tense. What should I say? But you made me so relaxed that I had I talked and I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and God bless everybody. God bless everybody.
I've become an investigative journalist.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
I didn't study journalism, I studied political science.
I had to go and check some of my facts again, but I thank God. I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
We reach out to hundreds of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands. Thank you very much, Mr. Pace. Thank you very much, Bishop. Mr. and Mrs. Pace. Thank you very much, Bishop Doctor and Lady Olenka Laga. And thank you very much, Voice of Hope. Thank you, Juliet, for allowing this man to come on board to serve. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have become if I had somebody who was not as committed as he is. Thank you, my wife, for being there, faithfully serving for 31 years and plus, and you are so intertwined, if I put it that way. You're so close to Pastor Ola that it makes ministry easy for me.
I'm always a brand ambassador.
A brand ambassador. All right, sir. So can you please just pray for the pastors?
Our Father and our God, we thank you for each and every pastor. We pray that you will continue to give them that spirit of humility. But above all, I pray that you will show them why they are here. With that understanding, our Father and our God, I know the peace of God which passeth all understanding will rule and keep their hearts and their mind. Thank you, because I've known them. Thank you that we are all together pushing this vision. Thank you so much for bringing them into my life, and thank you very much, our Father and our God, for bringing His grace into our lives. We give you praise, glory, and honor. We know that you will lift us and bring us to that level you want us in this ministry. In Jesus' name we pray.
Okay,
Amen.
thank you very much, Pastor Ola, for being my special guest today. Till we meet next week, Tuesday again, the same time, 1 p.m. for another Lifetime Impact. You can go back to Facebook or YouTube and pull up past interviews. They can be of inspiration to you, and they will bless you tremendously. And I was talking with one of my video cameraman. How could we do? Because there are people overseas that want to interview. So he said we are going to work it out. So at least we could be able to get people from overseas too who want to tell us their own side of the story, how God has transitioned them from where they were to where they are today. So until next Tuesday at 1 p.m., the Lord bless you and keep you. Don't forget, Monday at 6 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. on 6 o'clock. No wastable. Come with the sick, come with them, take with the chair, or that with the chair, just come with them from the hospital. Our God is the greatest physician. He has done it in the past, He will still do it. I can make my boast in the Lord my God. I've seen Him working in Australia, in India, in Kenya, Uganda. Wherever I preach His gospel, the Lord will confirm it with signs and wonders following. You're also welcome to our midweek service on Wednesday, where we have a time of deliverance, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. God bless you. Have a good day.